Okay, here we go. We got Eric Raffel on. His signal's better now. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, we tried this 3 other times. Signal's been kind of crap, but hopefully it'll be good now. So let's see how this will work. All right. You should be on in a second. There we go. Hey, there we go.
All right. Sorry, guys.
It's all good, man. We've had this happen before. You were on time. Most people are 30 minutes late, so you're fine. So for the people who are listening to the podcast, we had talked earlier already, but 8 world shoot titles, 1 junior, 7 overalls, which 8 world shoot titles. I don't know. Has anyone had that many titles? I don't know if anyone has.
If I'm not mistaken, Rob has 7 or 8 also.
Okay, so you and Rob.
To be checked. To be checked.
We'll have to check that.
To be checked the numbers he has. However, if I'm not mistaken, he doesn't have them in a row.
Okay.
So that's 1 point. That's 1 good point for me.
Yeah, because you've been undefeated since '96 was the only time that you didn't win the world shoot. And the junior title counts because you're shooting as a junior, right? So
Correct.
you have, let's call it 7 overall world shoot titles in a row. That's 21 years of dominance. That's insane. All the European handgun championships, all the French, a 250 plus match win streak, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And you're looking to add a lot more because you're still young, right? I mean, 40 is 41. 41's not
41.
old. I mean, look at Rob.
41.
Rob's still winning national titles, and he's like 100, right? So, I mean,
It's
theoretically, you could do this for a lot longer.
He's pulling out the matches, and
it's crazy. So, we had talked about your mental process a little bit.
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I got you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, in this sport, you can still compete for quite a long time, especially at your level. I mean, you're in better shape physically than 99% of the other shooters who are my age, who are in their 20s. I mean, it's ridiculous. You and JJ, I swear, y'all are like drinking the blood of the youth at this point to try to stay in the shape y'all are, because y'all don't age, y'all don't look 40, right? You damn sure don't do pull-ups or push-ups like 40-year-olds. So it's kind of crazy to see in the way you move. I watched video of you in your earlier world shoots, and you're in better shape now, and you're shooting better. I mean, in my opinion, the shooting that you're doing now is much better than you were doing then, and it's almost like the level just keeps rising, right? What do you attribute that to?
Level. I'm not sure if the technical level is rising. Possibly yes. Possibly not. Also hard to say. However, the fact that you have the experience that you gain years after years, that one is growing and keeps on growing. As long as I keep you shooting and you keep practicing at matches and practicing at training, you're growing your experience. And our sport is based on experience, for the simple reason that there are no fixed structure. Every single stage, every single competition is different. And one of the, let's say, skill that need to be developed years after years of practicing is the flexibility, the fact that you're being adaptive to the situation in order to solve the stage. Whatever the problem is and has been designed by the course designer, you need to find the solution in which you can perform the best in your way, in your style, to collect the points, and that's it. So yeah, the that experience is just keep on growing.
Yeah, I mean, experience is everything. And for someone who's as new to shooting as I am, especially compared to you, I mean, I've only been doing this for 3 years. You've been doing this for 3 decades. Um, you know, the ability to just kind of have seen it all. I mean, I don't know if there's something you haven't seen. I mean, do you ever show up to a match and get surprised, or is it just kind of like I've seen this 100 times, I've done this a hundred times. It's never different from what
There's
you've
still
already
new
seen.
stuff. There's still new stuff coming up. New style targets, new props, new swingers, new. There's always new stuff that is coming up, and also there's honestly between the 90s, 92, 93, 95, early 2000, and the way stages are built now today. There's a clear evolution, and there's an evolution also country by country, continent by continent, and so that means that you have to evolve either one way or the other. But if you want to stay on the top, you need to evolve with the competition, with the stage design, and readapt yourself to the profile of the competition. The competition is changing. When I was younger, I was like, I won't say fearless, but pretty much like all the youngsters. You're like, okay, let's go. I got you. You know, you got the teeth very long. You wanna grab everything. You wanna eat everyone. Then you grow older, and then that you get the fear. And at some point, you know, during my career, I had the fear to lose. You know, like everyone, I got one title, you got second title, and then you said, wow, let's try to go for a third one. But then you start thinking, wow, what if this, what if that? That kills the brain. And then you have the another pass at a certain point where now I'm fighting in another way, not to be beaten by an older guy, but if I'm beaten by a younger guy, I already made that process in my head that it's life. That will be the complete natural way to give up the, let's say, the position, it's which is given by the people. People are saying that okay, they call me the GOAT, fine, that because it's what the shooters are telling for me, but me, I just keep shooting. So if I'll be more than glad and more than happy. Is that will be my best reward, actually, to be beaten by a junior, honestly, because that will give me a nice kick, exactly where it should be, to motivate me and go, damn it, I'm not young, but I'm not gonna let that happen that easy a second time, because
Yeah,
I like the fight.
yeah. I don't know, man. I watch you practice and I watch your videos, and I've talked to people who are very close to you, like JJ, you know, and I talked to him about you know the just the athlete you are and the savage you are when it comes to competing and winning. And I don't see you going down without a fight. You know, I don't see, I don't know. It's hard for me to envision, you know, obviously everyone loses, right? And you've lost before, everyone's lost, right? But on the world shoot level, you know, just because you've done it for so long, I feel like when it comes to being prepared for a world shoot, experience is everything. And when it comes to experience, I mean, with the exception of Rob Latham, you know, I don't know anyone who's had the same amount of experience you do. So I think you have a pretty good, I think you have a pretty good chance of taking this into your 50s, this dominance, and then eventually at that point, what you're going to be a senior. Then, I mean, winning an overall world shoot title as a senior, I don't know if that's ever happened. Has that happened before?
I don't think
Uh,
so.
I mean,
That's a
winning
pretty
a
decent goal. That's a pretty
yeah, yeah,
decent
yeah.
goal.
That's a pretty awesome goal. If you can carry this dominance into your 50s and then keep winning when you're technically a senior, then I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to one day shoot against you, shoot with you. Um, I mean, it's everyone talks about it here. You know, everyone in the U.S. always says, you know, they want to shoot against Eric, right? Or they want to shoot against Jorge, or they, Rob Latham. We like to shoot against Rob Latham because when you shoot against guys who are that level, Max and you, it elevates your game, because once you've shot against someone with your amount of experience, I mean, it's priceless, right? And your so we had talked briefly about your mental process, but we kind of got cut off. But a lot of people want to know what your mental process is, and I know you had spoke about it briefly before we got cut off, but just run through it real quick for everyone.
Well, the thing is, most of the instruction, most of the shooters we hear, we hear a lot that you want to shoot the best you can without thinking, without just for you. And whatever happened. That would be your score. If somebody beats you, it's fine. That's part of the game. But you've tried to shoot the best of you. That means that you're always gas on. If you want to go that game that way, that means you're always playing with the stroke and open up the gas in order to shoot at your best. Now, is that
Yeah.
really relevant? Is it really logic? To me, not really, because I don't think I really ever shot in the US when I was, like the 16, the 15, 17 years old, 18 years old, and I got beaten hard because same story. I got there. I understood that, okay, I got my chance. I can do some good results and so on. And you want to push, you want to win. As simple as it is. You want to win, and you keep pushing.
Yep.
And I didn't see any success into it. And slowly I changed my mind into switching in performing what is necessary to shoot at your best,
Nope,
possibly.
he'll be back.
Like sometimes you do shoot at what you just need, and whether you're happy or you're not happy, you just do that in order to collect and to perform. And then you realize that you don't need to actually shoot super strong all the time. You just need to shoot solid, consistent, definitely. But also the other aspect of that is that you need to manage the scores. You need to understand what's the scoring, where you're standing, how many points are you leading up, how many points you are behind, and so on, in order to manage that performance level, that performance requirement, stage after stage. And when you've
That's
done that,
that's interesting. Because that's like the complete opposite of what everyone here thinks you have to do, right? Because in the
you're
U.S.,
French, yeah?
you're French, right? Maybe the French are doing it better. Obviously they are. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, everyone here thinks you gotta shoot. You're finding that 100%, right? Find that 100% and shoot at that 100% all the time, and that's how you win matches. But obviously not. I mean, you've won more matches than anybody, probably all the U.S. shooters combined, if you take Rob Latham out of the situation. Um, Good God, that's an
If if
incredible.
if you do remember, I won one time the U.S. Nationals without winning a single stage.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about
So
that.
now the real question: did I shoot that match at my strongest level? Because that could be. You could shoot at your strongest level every single stage, but you still can't manage to win one stage during that match. Or or should we say that I managed to shoot all the stages at a certain level that brings me or brought me the win at that time? Does that level that I shot, is it my 100%, or is it a level that I can guarantee anytime, whenever I want? Those are the real questions.
Yeah, that's an incredible epiphany that I didn't realize. I mean, I've talked about it before, how you can win a U.S. Nationals if you shot 85% on every stage, right? But we use that as just kind of, I said that just kind of, saying if you were consistent, you could win the Nationals without having to be the best, fastest guy, right? But your mental process is saying that I don't have to win every stage. I just have to shoot to the level that's going to get me the win. And that could be your 70%. Just depends on the match, right? It could be your 50%. It just, because I see your practice videos and I see some of the stuff you do on far steel and swingers and all this other stuff. And I've seen some of the crazy shit you do with your practice. And I think in a match, is he going to do that? And then it clicked in my head. I was like, well, he has the ability to do that, obviously, on demand. But if he doesn't have to do it in a match, why would he, right?
Exactly. So that means the training is way harder and way above the logic of what you're gonna do in the match. However, if you have the ability to do it, the knowledge how to do it, then you can make a decision, a proper decision in the match. Do I need it? Yes, no. Is it necessary? Yes, no. What does it bring? If I do it, does I collect a 10, 15, 20, 30 points, 50 points? Who knows? I don't know. 50 points never happened, but let's say a 30 points win on the stage or collection compared to my competitions? Yes, no. So that's the way I think. That's basically the way that, as you said, you've seen those videos of the training when I do those transition back to the swinger, transition back to the swinger, stuff like that. And even if you do it on one time or two times, and yes, I've done that type of training. I've done that hundreds of times, not in that necessarily same situation all the time, because I like to change. But I've done that system over and over and over, and then I believe that, the first run I said, okay, I'm gonna drop those 4 shots on the first pass of the swing, and then when I drew the 4 shots, I realized, damn, you're a damn idiot. There's room for 6 or 5 or the super safe way, and I shoot 4 on the pass. You know that in the match it's gonna be only 2, but in the training I shoot the 4 in the pass and it's still safe, and I still didn't go at the limit without breaking the limit. When you break the 100, this is where you're gonna do the miss. You're gonna do the mistakes, and you don't want to cross that line. You want to stay at that line, 99, 100, 99, 100, and push it further out. But in the competition, I would say I shoot around the 92%.
That's insane. That's insane to think about. I am going to absolutely punish myself from now on with the amount of training and the style of training I do. Just thinking about, okay, now you have to so you're saying just constantly find those new gears in your practice. And then when it comes time in a match, all that stuff's going to look and just be ridiculously easy that you can kind of cherry pick what you want to do.
Those gears you just mentioned are just options for you in competition.
Yeah, that's insane. That's an insane way to look at it. I love that. I've yet to hear that. I like it. So with that being said, what is your training like? I know that's kind of a broad question. I think what more people are wanting to know is, what's your process in training? What are you looking for? What are you trying to accomplish?
That will disappoint a lot of people here.
Will you? Because you haven't so far.
I don't build training with necessarily very, very specific stuff. I do most of the training with a couple of techniques I want to work during that training, and I combine them within the session. Whatever, shooting on the move, or some swingers, or movements, or kneeling, so there will be extra kneeling during that session and stuff like that. And typically, I start a sequence, and sequences are usually about 15, 16 rounds minimum. and then I drop a second sequence based on the same, let's say, stage I made, but I start from another point, and then I do another starting position and I shoot again, even though it's not logical for a competition. But I've done my first run. First run is gone, and that's like in competition. I don't have any reshoot. I can't get any other reshoot. So I'm just moving on. I'm still working the technique requested, but with a new starting position. That new starting position necessarily re-engage different cards. Different cards in the sense tactic is different, shooting sequence is different, reloads become different. In which way I'm going to shoot those targets, because I'm entering not. So every time that forces me to rethink the stage, rebuild the strategy around it, in order to be faster, in order to memorize quicker, and try to perform the best I can at that moment.
Wow. So that's a pretty interesting way to look at training. So I've heard you know, from people who've trained with you, I say people, it's like one person, it's JJ, that your training is always different. It's always changing, right? You never really sit there and beat up a drill for an hour. It's always, you know, you pick skills and you work on them, and you're constantly changing everything, which is smart because you're not going to see the same thing twice in a competition for the most part. You know, every stage is different. Every match is different. You'll use the same skill sets, but they won't be in the exact same way. That's a really intelligent way to look at training. That's something
It's less
I'm not
boring.
doing. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
less boring for you as a shooter. That's the first thing. The only thing is a lot of people, they don't like, and they don't see the let's say the progression. They don't see a result immediately during the training. Well, you do a repetition, no matter what you do, when you start repeating, it starts to be memorized. So subconsciously, you start doing some movement without watching them, without necessarily controlling them, because they are, let's say, already approved in your system, in your sequence. So you know that they are good, they are performing well. So you don't have to think of them, and then you start thinking about the other stuff which is wrong, using your memory style to perform those that you have, let's say, confirmed to be good. I repeat once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times. And from, let's say, that's first stage that you started to shoot in 10 seconds, you go down in 6 seconds after having shot it 15 times, 20 times. And then a lot of people say, yeah, you see, good progress. And yes, you feel that, yes, that's the time of the world champions. Top guys are shooting this and this. So I'm there, I'm good, I'm happy. But the reality is you take that exact same stage the next morning, and you know it's competition. I can tell you at 100%, 200%, there's not even a single chance that you can perform it in 6 seconds. You will do it maybe in 9.5, if you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that because it's repetition on one thing is to actually work in a skill set better, you know.
So
Anybody can hit a home run after, you know, having the ball thrown at them 200 times, you know.
exactly. Sooner or late, you're gonna have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
But
that. That's smart.
but when it comes to the one single chance, and the world shoot is exactly the same consideration. Think about it. The world shoot is happening once every 3 years.
Yep.
It's not like, yes, the national is only once a year. And you guys in the US, you got 5 nationals. Or let's say more, because you got the PCC now, and then you have the 2-gun nationals and so on. So you got more nationals, but still, for that single division, it's happening once a year.
Mm-hmm.
You have one chance, not 2 chances, not 3 chances. It's a 1 chance.
Yep. Yeah,
So
that's super smart.
So the
Well,
system fits
you just
that.
blew a huge hole in my whole training I'm about to go fix.
Well, the thing is, it works for IPSC. It doesn't necessarily work for Steel Challenge or for, let's say, for Steel Challenge, for example. Pro-Am, that would be more like IPSC style. So Steel Challenge, it's based repetition. So clearly you need the repetition here to perform. However, when I shot once the steel challenge, I managed not to be on the top, but I was like somewhere top 5 or something like this. With my basic, let's say, my style training in IPSC. So it helps to get there at the position. Yes, then you need the specific training to handle the other games. Then I went to also to a pro-am, which is a different style. We don't have that back in back in Europe, but same story. Let's say that system that you can bring into IPSC will probably not make you win other style competition based on action shooting. However, definitely can help you to perform definitely good, or let's say at the top level in the other games
Yeah.
easily, and then you can just process a different style of training and work basically based on what is requested.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, my training is about to get totally switched up. I like it, which is good because I felt my training has been stagnant for the last 2 weeks. I kind of I felt like I'm just going through the motions. So this gives me something to look forward to. Um, so I have played with grip multiple times, but your grip seems to have stayed consistent for a long time, right? You don't really switch your grip up. You kind of found what works for you and you went with it. What was the idea behind your grip? I know this is kind of a basic, you've probably been asked this a million times, but it was one of the most asked questions I got.
It's there's no good answer on the grip. You have there is a one learning curve saying squeeze as hard or beat as hard as you can your grip to hold your gun and pull that trigger. It's one style. And then if you look at the history, when IPSC started, the Weaver style, the Weaver stance was one way, which was based on the push and pull system. Then come up more dynamic style of shooting where we ended up more in a triangle shooting platform in order to shoot. But the thing is, being on the triangle, you got the axis of the firearms and your hands are basically with an angle, so they are not exactly in the axis of the gun movement. Also, your gun is working back and forth. So it means the logic, if we start talking like physics and same story, you put your slide or your frame into a vise. How to say, when you vise it sideways, let's say, and you start hammering in the front or in the back, what's happening? It's moving out, so you get scratches, like a lot of people have done. I'm pretty sure everyone has done. I've done it also myself. I've scratched my gun doing that shit, putting it in the vise and hammering my front side or whatsoever on one side. It doesn't work. You need, if you want to control the movement, you have to apply the force in the same axis than that movement, one way or the other. But you have to use the axis. So the gun is going back and forth. We need to put the power back and forth. That's just mechanical. So basically what I've done is I wanted not to squeeze too hard on the arms. I've never been built let's say like JJ, super hard, super strong shoulders, or like Rob, super tall guy, super powerful. So I've tried to look into how to use my body.
Hang on, he'll be back. It's that French Wi-Fi again. Stand by, people. Good thing this happened on the grip question. Yep. Yep. Tater hit it on the head. Technical difficulties. Yeah. All right. There we go. Now I can see you.
Okay.
All right. I think we're good again.
So we're saying,
Um, so we talked
hello,
about grip.
French Rose.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello. Yeah. Dang French roads.
Yep,
Can you hear me now?
yep, I can hear you now. Yes, yes.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, your grip is very, very mechanically sound, and I guess I never really thought about, putting pressure on the way the gun's recoiling and access forward and backwards, because everybody always tells you, you grip forward and backwards with this one, and you grip left and right with this one, and you kind of distribute the weight. But you're saying to grip the gun forward and backwards to counter react the the way the gun's mechanically moving. And stupid French roads, French Wi-Fi. All right, hang on tight, people. We'll get him back. We'll give him a break. He's the greatest shooter to ever live. We'll let him slide on this Wi-Fi issue. But and if you have, yeah. All right, are you there? We got you back? Nope. All right, here we go. It looks like it's working now. Can you hear me?
I've been always hearing you. Whatever shit you were saying, I could hear. Apparently you can't hear me, but I get the signal.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's cutting out a lot on your end. All right. So anyway, tell us just kind of quick synopsis of the grip, real quick, for people who didn't get it.
So yeah, we were saying that using the like say the original push pull, however, let's say tuned to our needs right now. So in order to get the push, we're using the strong hand to push, but it's not actually the hand which is pushing. I'm not even squeezing my hand. I'm just holding the gun. You're just pushing, and I'm pushing from where? From the shoulders. It's actually the shoulders, which are the stronger part. Bigger muscles are able to develop way more power from the back that I can do actually by just squeezing my hand back and forth with my fingers on the front and my palm on the back side. So I'm just pushing forward. And then actually my weekend, there are two views of it. So or either you're doing a pulling and then you're actually trying to everything strong, trying to pull back your arm, or you actually can, hold still your weak hand and use your push, full push to whatever it's necessary, whatever you need, whatever you like to make yourself happy, to create that pressure. And at that moment, when you do that, necessarily what happens is that your strong hand fingers are getting squeezed, but they are not squeezed mechanically by you telling your forearm and your nerves to actually squeeze your hand. They are squeezed because they are getting blocked by the wall, let's say by your weak hand, and that you keep pushing from the backside of your hand, of your strong hand, and you're putting the pressure back in front without putting any pressure sideways, which requires a huge amount of pressure, a huge amount of muscle and power to get your gun control.
Okay, I have yet. So that's interesting because, like I said, I'm new to this game. I've never tried that. Now here we go. Now I'm going to be playing with my grip for the next 9 hours.
I'm telling you, the only issue is that you are already 3 years old shooter.
I know.
So it's gonna take you forever to switch if you think this way. So and the fact is to teach that to younger people, it's easy. They do it right away. You can either actually only pull or just only push or actually do a push pull. Whatever variant you like, you can do whatever it works for you. But when you realize that you can hold your gun very still by just applying force in front and on the back, makes your life
Hmm.
easy.
Well, I'm going to work on it little by little, see if I can maybe develop it over the next couple of years. We'll see.
Hmm.
Um, but that's an interesting way to look at it. So that gets me to my next question, right? You said work on that stuff when you're younger. How'd you get into shooting, and who mentored you when you first started? Like, who kind of helped you through all this when you first came on? Because from the time you were a junior, you were kicking the shit out of everybody.
Well, it's because it's that you have to work, you have to practice, and you have to shoot. You have like a driver, you have to make miles to be able to drive. No matter what you drive good or you drive bad, if you drive a lot, even a bad thing, you've done it so many times badly that at some point it becomes a potential performance. Uh, so there is a need of volume at some point. You need to shoot, you need to practice, and you need to put the hours if you want to go at a certain level, which means winning state level for the USPSA or winning the nationals, and furthermore. Um, I started with my dad on the range, going with him every Saturday and then every Sundays, and then slowly he brought me to competition. Got my first sponsor. First sponsor gave us some equipment, so we got a little bit more money to put into the ammunition. So I got more ammo to shoot, and then more ammo to shoot. I performed a little bit better, so I got a second sponsor, and then it keeps going. Um, but behind that, you need to put the hours, the numbers of hours of work, which mean working out, prepping your gun, preparing your gun, building loading your ammunition. It's a non-stop work if you want to achieve the top level at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of hours put in. I think you've put in, safe to say you've put in tens of thousands of hours into this sport. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you were able to look at the amount of time you put into here, you'd probably be blown away along. So would everybody else. I think that I put in a lot of time, and I've put in probably 1/10,000th of the time that you've put in. Um, so what got you into shooting? Was it something that you
My
found
dad was a shooter.
okay, so your dad was a shooter, just kind of got
Mhm.
you into it, and then you kind of hit the ground running. That's pretty cool.
No, the official start is he was babysitting me.
I like it.
So I was on the range being babysitted, let's say.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's my kind of babysitting.
So I was at the range, not allowed to shoot when I was 6, 7 years old. Started at 8, and I was picking up the brass until the moment I said, "Listen, it's being a little bit tiring just to pick up the brass. If I could shoot something a little bit at least, I'll still pick up the brass, but I'll shoot also." So I got air pistol after air pistol 22s, and then I got 9mm at 9.5 about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you pretty much grew up on the range.
I
So
grew
it
up on
was
the
it,
range. I mean, my
it
weekends
was
were on the range.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's what I'm hoping to do when I have kids, but we'll see. Um,
And
so
if you look at the history of any top sport athlete, not only in shooting, but if you look at Max, he was on the range very young with his dad. You look at Chris Tilley, he was on the range very young. You look at JJ, he was on the range. Look at
yep,
Rob, he
yeah,
was on the range. There's only very few.
they had ranges
Uh,
back in the 1910s when Rob was a kid. What was that? The Cold
I
War?
I don't know, but hey, he was out with his dad on the range, so
Yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely.
and there's only a few shooters who came, very late. I mean, very late. Not saying very late being it's not being said properly, but uh, you take Ben Stoger, he didn't have the chance that we had. I mean, I can say for me, it's a chance. I had the chance to shoot, to be on the range and be able to play with the gun and shoot with the gun that young, and that's definitely
It's a big
uh, uh,
advantage.
the bonus. Let's say, yeah, a clear big advantage I had compared to many other shooters around the world.
Yeah.
And now you look at the other sports. You look into the car sports. You look into athleticism. You look into football. A lot of the top athletes, they were like 14 years old, 15 years old. They've been picked up because they had some potential, but they
Yep.
were already on the field. They were already there in the sport,
Yeah.
into the game. There's no
Yeah.
secret.
Yeah. I started at 24,
It's
and
too late. Sorry to say that, but it's already too
no,
late.
it is. It's too late. It's too late. It is too late now. I come from an athletic background. I pick things up really fast. I pick shooting up really fast, and I'm progressing at a fast rate now. I am a savage when it comes to competing and what leads me to get to winning. So one of these days, I'm going to see you at a world shoot. Now you may be 65 when that happens, but eventually it'll happen. But yeah, I started really late, and now I'm trying to make up for that lost time. But there's really no way you can make up for that lost time. It's
the
lost
pro
time.
the you can make up the technical aspect. You can make up all the shooting aspect. The athletic part, you can make that up.
Hmm.
Fine. However, all that experience.
Yep.
I mean, it's if we're talking about 10 years, multiplied by, let's say, 200 days out of a year, it's 2,000 days at the shooting range that you don't have, that I have,
Yep.
which are potential 2,000 experience. If we considered one experience that I keep per session.
Yep. It's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah. It's pretty awesome though. So let's switch gears a little bit. Um, we've got the World Shoot coming up this year. If it happens, I'm hoping it does. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but I think it's going to happen. Um, Typically in the World Shoot years, and I've heard this. Obviously, I wasn't shooting during the last World Shoot, but I heard that usually during World Shoot years, you come to the U.S. to shoot U.S. nationals. Are you planning to come to the U.S. nationals before the World Shoot this year, or are you going to make a surprise visit? Kind of what are you thinking here?
I wish it's gonna be tight. I was thinking at the Pan American first, but the our French national get canceled in July due to the COVID situation, also back in Europe, and has been moved right after the Pan American. So basically, Pan American ends and the French national starts, and I need to be there because we don't have any team qualified yet. So I'm not even either qualified officially as a team member for the French team. So I won't be able to attend the Pan American. However, definitely if I get the chance to come for the for a match in the US, that's something it's clearly missing. I need to. There's something I need to do. The good thing for me now, I got vaccinated. I got my second vaccination next week, which means that clear up scares for traveling and for opening doors going here and there. And definitely is I'm coming for the shot show, which means that I'll be able to shoot a couple of matches, and I'll try to stay around this year after shot show to go shoot a couple of matches, maybe in Florida, maybe whatsoever I can find.
Well, man, I'll be at SHOT Show as well, and we need to talk after this. Maybe we can set up if you want to teach a class down here. Um, we can set that up because I would love to take a class from you. Um, Anytime you can learn from the best is awesome. Or we can go shoot a match. I I want to get to say I've shot with Eric Raffel. It's like saying you played a round of golf with Tiger Woods. Um, but yeah, we've all been wondering if you're going to show up to the U.S. and just kind of go, hey, daddy's home. Don't forget, this is waiting for you at the World Shoot. Because in years past, that's kind of been how it is. And and the talent pool in the U.S. is stacked, when you look at it. But when you look at the amount of world championships is in the U.S., it's not nearly as much as you have. So it's going to be interesting to see this world shoot. I'm excited for this world shoot. I wish I was going just so I could watch. Um, I almost wanted to go just to watch, but we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because now I go for the Worlds. I'm happy to go. I just shoot. I mean, I just shoot. It's not correct to say it this way, but I go shoot. Of course, I'll do for a fight. I'll go for the fight. I'm not. You're doing excellent. I'm reading this comment. How to say? I'm now, as I said, I'm already ready to give away and give whatever people are putting me into the position, saying, let's say, is the guy to beat. But that's what was funny, I must say, in the last World Shoot 2017, when I was with the Super Squad with the U.S. standard team, and was in the discussion. And I must say that it has affected me a little bit at first. We all come here for a title. Let's say the World Shoot title is the title. But after talking with the guys, they're like, no, we don't care about the title. You are the title. And I was like, yeah, okay. But, it's kind of honestly, I got surprised. And it tweaked me a little bit in my brain. It's like, fucked me up a little bit. Because it's something I've never really thought in that way, I must say, because when you think it afterward, you said, yeah, you presented me, okay, the guys won 7 World Shoot, undefeated, and so on. It's like, damn, that would be a good question. What would be the trophy? What would be the let's say the change, the what's gonna happen to the guy who's gonna beat me, let's say. And that was like a funny story, a funny question I asked myself. It's like, that's kind of weird, and that's kind of scary also, because it took me like years and years and years to get there, and I'm like giving up that chance for someone. No, and that put me up back on the trail. I was like, no. You want it, you're gonna have to work hard for it.
Yeah, you're going to have to die on your sword to take
But
out
it's
Graffel.
but you see, it's we all get affected, and a lot of people say that yeah, Eric is a machine, just like has I've heard that he has no emotion. He's just like run like this, he does like this, job like this. It's like, no, I'm reacting like this. I'm just let's say managing the information or dealing with the information. But that day, like that day, that information like got me in, and like, yeah, fuck me up. We can say that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's reality. Look, how many people win a world shoot title every year? One in every division, right?
Yeah.
So safe to say, I don't know how many divisions they have at the world shoot now, 5 or 6 or whatever, what have you. Um, so 5 or 6 people walk away a world shoot champion every year. How many people in the last 20 years have beaten Eric Graffel at a world shoot? 0, right? So I get what they're saying. It is kind of a, winning a world shoot title is amazing, right? But if you didn't go through Eric Graffel to get it, are you really the best, right?
Well, you see that in that way, and that honestly, that also for me, that's what I need, and what I need the fight, and I need some people to come and go for it, and that makes me happy. I mean, you got Uh, all the US team. Niels was there. Niels keep pushing me for having another fight soon. So we don't know which division. He's ready to switch any division any moment now. He's crazy guy. But the back here, sometimes I have feeling also in France that the people don't want to fight with me because they consider that, okay, if Eric show up, we're already playing for second place, and that's, I think it's bullshit mentality because
That is a bullshit
they, they,
mentality.
they put me on they already fear me, and they give me a chance, let's say the mental advantage on them, and but still, I mean, if you I would love to go on the fight all the time, trying to catch up and fight. That would put you and give you at least your official result. But I see some top guys, they rather move division instead of going or staying in their main division, and go on a fight with me, and which like. And I'm seeking for that, I'm trying, okay, this match, there's this guy in this division. Okay, let's shoot this division because lately, the last 3 years, I've been like shooting open sometimes, shooting production here. I shot production optic, I shoot some stuff, and I need that, and I want that. And then you show up to the match, and then everybody's gone. It's like, what the heck is going?
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's in my opinion, that's the mentality of a loser. Because I shoot open, right? Because in the US all the top shooters are in open. Now you have like, Nils and all those guys who shoot other divisions because they're contractually obligated to, or maybe they just enjoy it more, right? But most of the heat is in open, right? So and a lot of those guys, I'm not the only one with this mental process. I would rather lose to the best than win against
I've,
people who aren't as good, right?
I think I've said it already, and I don't see any other way to see our sport. But open is the Formula One of our sport.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's the Formula One.
It's so fun.
Production is maybe the main the one of the, or if not the biggest, let's say the biggest division, and yes, the most interesting for manufacturers, definitely, because there's volume, there are more let's say serial production firearms for the market, and yes, it is also in a great division, and all of the divisions are great, but the Formula One remains the Formula One, and you get to see that in the Formula One, Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, all those drivers that from the past, everybody remembers them because
Yeah.
they are pilots in the top finest, let's say, car division that you can find around the world.
Yeah. If I asked you who's won the most races in GT3, you'd have no idea, right? But if I said who's won the most Formula One races, everyone knows Lewis Hamilton, right? Everyone knows Michael Schumacher.
Exactly.
It's open
And,
as
and
open as Formula One.
open is Formula One.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I would rather race Formula One, right? Now, if I'm going to a match to shoot that division, like limited 10 nationals or two gun nationals, obviously that's different, but it's the best is
It's kind of weird. Full signal and you're breaking up. I can hear you now. You're back. It looks like. Nope, nope, nope. Don't have you. And I got 4G full bar signals. I can hear you now. Looks like.
Can you hear me?
Nope. Yeah, I hear some words. Are you back online?
I'm
Hey, it looks
online.
like
Can you
good
hear
now.
me? Okay, cool. Can you hear me pretty good
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. I was
yeah,
saying
yeah.
that
Good.
if if I were shooting a match, I would want to shoot where you're at, right? Because you always want to shoot against the best because it's the experience that you're after, right? Um, but winning a title, because you ran to another division doesn't make sense to me. I would rather shoot against the best, and wherever the best are at, that's where you should want to shoot. And I think the World Shoot title this year, there's going to be some heat and open. Are you thinking you're going to shoot open for this World Shoot?
It's a good question, but I still don't know.
Oh, come on. Everybody, that's the most talked about topic. When I posted the questions, I got asked, a bunch of questions, but there was not one question that wasn't answered or that wasn't asked more than is he going to shoot open? What's division is he shooting at World Shoot this year? So, you sneaky son of a gun, you're keeping us on the hook even longer. We're probably not going to know until the World Shoot, huh?
Most likely. The thing is, I can clearly say, and you've seen that I practice open and I practice production. So it doesn't say that I'm not shooting production or I will not shoot open at the Worlds. I might shoot one or the other. Maybe production optic, who knows? But still, that will be somewhere here, somewhere around that.
Yeah, because you shoot a different division almost every day.
Yeah,
Every time we see it, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, I know you have a dinner you got to get to, so I know you're a
just to,
super busy guy.
that's the team. We just came back from the range, arrived home. So,
Oh, nice.
guys, say hello. Jean-Michel, say hello. Mumik, say
What's
hello.
up, fellas? How's it going?
Seb. So we're just like unloading up the truck. They got PCC, open, production. I think we had Classic also with us today.
Very nice.
So
Very nice.
we shoot some rounds, like somewhere to 2,500 or 300, 3,000 rounds, about almost for four guys. Not bad.
That's a lot. It's a lot of
Yeah,
rounds.
that's not bad. Yeah, well, 6 hours on the range. It's okay.
How many rounds do you normally shoot in a practice session?
Usually about 500 on a normal
500.
session, and when I get to the worlds on my way to the world, about a month before, it's 1,000 every day, at least.
1,000 every day.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, that's a lot. But are you getting
Hey,
ready to you got to go?
no, no, you can say JJ. You can ask him at JJ that we were shooting when we were preparing for the world. We were actually even 1,500 a day, and he was not used to it. He was like, "Ah, my hand hurts."
I'm not used to this. My poor baby hands. He does all that working out, and his hands are hurting him, huh?
Well, it's when it's hot, when it's everything. You're outside, you're shooting. You're holding your gun every day. So day one is okay. Day two is okay. Day three start to hurt. Day four, it's like start to be painful. And yeah, when you see every night when you're going home every night and you see your hand is like red and bloody, it's yeah, this is where you get to the point that it's good.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I've developed pretty calloused hands over the years. These things are pretty beat up. But if I'm hitting it really, really hard, I still notice every now and again that, the blood starts to pour. But that gets me jazzed. I like that.
Yeah, it's way to go. And then when you get you guys hear me? Oh no.
Yeah, we can all hear you.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, sorry. I thought you switched to the car somehow. I'm just pulling back my car there. When you shoot that amount of volume, at some point, before the Worlds, like 1 month before, you're not practicing in the sense that you're learning something by practicing that volume. You're just practicing shoot to create some automatism, automatism in the sense that, okay, I shoot a D, I need an extra shot here, or I do some extra running and so on. You're not really practicing your skills at that point. But also you're like a drug addict. You're loading up yourself. And you're shooting that volume, and then like 2 days before, you cut that off. And day one of shooting is starting, and you got like you are in the need. You need to pull the trigger again. And it's funny, because I got that feeling. It's crazy, and I get to shoot I get to the point where the competition starts, and that's let me shoot, let me load my damn gun, let me give me a beep right away, and let me shoot, and I need that. And then when it started, and then basically your hands are just getting more and more relaxed, slowly throughout the competition. But everything you've done for a month until then, you have that opening day. You do nothing, but your hands hurt still. And then you get your first day. Then you know that you need to shoot, and
Yeah, yeah, that's
that's a
pretty
great feeling.
awesome, man. Yeah, that is pretty incredible. I thought I shot a lot of rounds. You shoot, that's a ridiculous amount of rounds. I need to up my game. I need to get an ammo sponsor is what I need to do. I need to get an ammo sponsor, man, because that's a lot of rounds. That's a
Yeah,
lot of rounds,
and
especially right now.
and I can tell Amscore have been supporting me for the ammunition for years, since '99, and they know when I'm saying, oh, I need some ammo. Eric, you need that much? I said, pretty much, yes. Are you gonna shoot that all? Oh, yes, I'll manage that.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So man, that's insane. Do you have to go, or do you have still some more time?
no, I'm still good. I'm just unloading my phone. So if
All
you don't
right.
mind me walking around here with my bag and stuff, that's fine.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Um, so what do you use? So what do you use to train your visual cues? How do you do your visual training? Is there anything you do that you think works better than the next thing?
Not really. I do. Um, I do a lot of things differently in that process. For let's say working on the vision, I do a lot of target changes, target distances, keeping the eyes worked out, because if you always keep the work at the same distance, hein? Non, je vais aller le chercher après. Je suis sur un live. It's my daughter asking me some questions, so she's worried
There you go.
because tomorrow she's got a competition for horse riding, and I'm not bringing the trailer back, so I have to go and pick up the trailer.
Oh Lord.
So yes, I keep there's always differences. I work a lot with different colors. I work with different distances. I work with different shapes of targets. So there's a lot of mix all the time, which forces me to get the eye trained in the sense that collecting the information so that the brain can process it and make the right call, let's say right call, right decision, or at least if it's not the right call, make a call. Because the worst thing is being undecided whether you need to shoot or not. So you need that. So the eyes need to work faster, collect the information, transmit that information, and so that you can process it. And the main issue is what we call it the time, let's say time reaction somehow. But that time reaction, you have it everywhere. You have it on the transition. You have it on the sound of your beep. So for your draw, you have it the time reaction of information collected. And should I take the shot from here, or should take the shot a little bit later on? Because I'm not exactly presented where I plan. So there's always some sort of once again adaptation into the situation. And your eyes, the eyes are the first contact to what will be the start of a decision.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, shoot all different things and shoot all different distances so that when it comes time for you to shoot that distance or that style of target or something different at the time in a match, you're ready. You've done it 100,000 times.
Once again, it all falls down to the same principle of practice. When I tell you that do not repeat twice the same sequence, it hands up for that. When you do a drill or a bill drill or the same sequence over 2 or 3 targets, at some point you don't need to watch those targets. You just shoot them.
Yeah,
You know they are there. You know that nothing will happen. You know nothing will change. You just have to shoot them.
yeah, I like that. Yeah, I try to switch up my practice as much as possible as far as never shooting something a whole lot. But I will say that the range that you have that you shoot at is amazing. I think that's everyone's kind of dream scenario is that range. That's your that's the CZ training center, right?
No, it's not my range yet. It will be soon similar to it, but it's the one we are building is now in construction. They start digging, um, but the that's the range. That's one range in Russia actually, and it's very similar to the one we are going to build.
Okay, so the range that we always see you practicing at, that's in Russia?
Yeah, that's an indoor range in Russia. That's
How far
amazing.
is that from you?
Woo! Too many hours flying.
Oh man, so
That's
you kind of when you're training at that range, you fly out there and spend a lot of time there.
yeah,
That's awesome. That's
hours and
absolutely awesome.
hours. Happens to me to be at 6 o'clock in the morning at the range to shoot.
Whew.
And if I'm not mistaken, I can remember Jerry Michulik saying that if you want to reach to be if one day you want to be at the top, you need to be the first on the range and be the last on the range, something like this. I remember that him saying that, and
Yeah,
that's not wrong saying actually.
yeah. I mean, the more hours spent, the better. I mean, it's like anything. If you want to be the best, you have to do it more than everyone else and do it better than everyone else.
You know the when you're still hunting, I call that hunting when I teach people. That means that you have the target, you have that guy in front of you that you're hunting, or you're hunting the first place in the ranking. It's easy to target. You have a goal, you have it. Difficulty when you're on the top is to maintain that, and uh, you have to understand that the people will train harder to beat you, and you to stay at the top, you will have to train twice harder than what you did to reach the top, because you know that the people will try to get you.
Yeah,
So at the end of the day, you need to do more stuff, more than the other, or better than the other, all the time. You're not satisfied. You do it again. You do it again until you find satisfaction and you believe that's good enough. But next day, it doesn't mean that the next day will be a good day. So you have to go and do it again, and again, and again.
yeah. That's insane. Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, at the level you're at, the amount of work that you have to put in because you're right when like me I'm chasing other people, right? So I'm very very motivated every time I go practice, every time I go shoot, every time I want to dry fire, every time I go to the gym, every time I go on a run. I'm thinking about beating that person, right? Those people. I have the list, right? But once you're at the top of that list, you know finding that motivation, it's got to be hard.
Well,
It's got to be very
it
hard to
it
find
it
that
it
motivation,
it it,
and you
it can
continue to do it because every time we turn around, you're training.
it can be hard. But the thing is, what I've learned and what I've seen, it's winning one time is not the most difficult. The most difficult is winning the second time, and uh, and moreover in the row. So same. I would say it's about the same thing when you win, in the U.S. you win the nationals. You win one time the nationals, great. You're the national champion so far. But if you can strike it the second time, next year for a second time, then you kick yourself in another level because that proves that last year you deserved it. The second one you deserved it. The third one you do it. You really deserved it. And um, I mean, you're putting the work, you're putting a system, you're putting a process to win and to perform. As sometimes you just win one match, it's maybe not you win, it could be the defect of the other. It's still a win. It doesn't take away the fact that you win or you won, sorry. Uh, but you might have won by the mistakes of the others. So the fact that you bring it at the second time, that proves that you have the ability to make that win. Because most likely the chances that the second time it's another defect are, let's say, pretty low.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Do it once, it's impressive. Do it twice, it's even more impressive. But two, three, 4 or 5 times, I mean, that's where you cement yourself as one of the best, because people come out and win, they win a national title and then they never win again, right?
Look, you simply see that. Look at what the people think about Jerry. Look at what the people think about Rob Litton. Look at what the people think about Max Michel today, or
Yep.
JJ Ricasa, because they've been out there for years and they've been consistently winning, winning, and winning.
Yep.
Yes, we have ups and downs, like everyone. We're humans, so we make mistakes from time to time in the season, or it could be also for just family reasons or evolution in your life. And once again, this happened also in any other sports. Uh, uh, but the at the end of the day, that what makes the difference? You take Tiger Woods, you get Michael Schumacher, you take Lewis Hamilton, and that you can see in other sports.
Yep.
It's actually what the people say about them that put them at that level, but it's because what they did.
Yeah. They
And
put the
what
they put the work in.
they did put the work in, the sacrifices, and also it's something that needs to be measured. But the sacrifice is not only the you think the hours that you spend on the range, and you could be bleeding, or let's say I've heard that also before, that yeah, it's not the sacrifice when you're paid to shoot. Yeah, well, yes and no, because the sacrifice is on the family. Your hours on the range, you're not with your family. You're
Yep.
flying always for competition. When are the competitions? On the weekends. So that means how many weekends you're out?
All of them.
How many? Okay, so uh, it's not. If you decide to go that way, yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of sacrifices, and it can pull and put a lot of stress into, let's say, your family environment, which could be wife, kids, but could be with just parents or or friends also, because
Yep.
because you're traveling, you don't see your friends that much anymore. Or let's say, and I'm sad to say, years back, I missed the wedding of my best friend because I was at the match, and I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had to go at the match.
Yep.
So no, life is not that necessarily that fantastic when you're on the top. Also, it's
Nope.
great.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
It, it's great, eh? Don't get me wrong, but it has
Yeah.
good
There's a give
things
and
and
a
bad
take,
things.
Yeah. There's a
Exactly.
give and a take. There's always the good and the bad. I mean, people don't realize how much traveling goes into shooting, you know, and you do it on a level that's obviously inconceivable by 99% of the shooting population. But, I think about how much I shoot. I go, you know, at least 16, 20 majors, big matches, local matches, training I usually try to train 4 days a week at least. I take the 2 days my wife's off work, which is Wednesday and Thursday, I take those off to spend time with her, try to find that balance. But, you know, missing, you know, friends' birthdays, you know, family members' birthdays, um, you know, it's a lot, you know, it's a lot. And you do it on a level that's, you know, the level that I do it on is like down here. You're like way up here, you know, because you do it full time. That's all you do is shoot, right? I still have a job, you know, so I'm doing it part time, and it's still a
And
lot.
that's still a lot. And you realize, like, just to give an idea, how bad it can be, because I love what I do, and there's no way. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, I found my way this way. Let's say this like this. But I managed to get my son's birthday twice in a row just because of the COVID. He's
Yeah,
born in May. He's born in May, which is pretty much the hot season back here in Europe. And for the first 11 years, I've never been there, never. And then that's last year because of COVID. This year still in COVID, I managed to be there. So
it's crazy.
that's crazy. That's bad. That's sad even for me,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
but that's as we say, it's let's say my work, and I love it, and we know competition is it's part of my life. So we all okay with that. We managed to do the birthdays before or after, and he's cool with that. But still, it's
Yeah. People see all the titles, all the you know, all the world shoot titles, all the undefeated streak and the mystique and all the crap on Instagram. But
free guns,
yeah,
free
free
ammunitions.
guns, free ammo. Well, what they don't see is stuff like that. That's the sacrifice that people don't understand about guys like you, right? Uh, how many people who are shooters had to miss 11 of their son's first 11 birthdays? Probably none of them, right? Um, you know, that's the stuff that they don't see when it comes to it. People say, "Oh, I want to get to Eric Graffel's level." Do you? Do they really? They think they do, right? They think that they want it, but
And when you see it and when you feel it, you said, finally, maybe I'll stay.
yeah, yeah. Do they? Are they? It's not whether they don't want it, right? It's are they willing to sacrifice and
Everything
put
else.
in that much work and sacrifice everything else? It's different, man. It's different.
Now, on the other hand, I can say that I am an happy dad, because now my son was want to catch up with me, and now he shoots with me. So that means that he goes with me at the range, and we are hanging out. So I
Yeah.
must say, that's the, let's say, now the good part of what I'm living, and I'm really enjoying it. I must say, having my kid with me shooting, being motivated, trying to shoot faster, and I feel like it's like me remembering myself with my dad at the range, doing stuff. So I must say it's pretty cool. That's a
Yeah,
good part
that's
of it.
super awesome. Cause now y'all get to enjoy that stuff together, right? Which is awesome. Which it sucks for guys like me who are now going to have to deal with another Graffel for the next rest
Let's
of my
let
life. But
Yeah, well, for him it will be probably harder, because he will have to live with the name, which has been made, and so on, and if he wants to shoot and go, he will have to put even more work than what I did, and that's
some
even
big shoes to fill.
yeah, it's I'm not sure it's the best position to get started. It's like I don't know if JJ's kids will shoot, or Max Michel's kids wants to shoot or not. I don't know. That's actually something would be good to talk with them, because I don't know how it will be, how people will feel about it, and how people will react, because we we see it at school. Kids are mean between each other at school, and we also in the sports somehow can be mean some ways, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't like him to live that. So I want him, if he
Yeah.
wants to shoot, he shoots. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And if he shoots, but he's not a top guy, I for me it wouldn't matter at all. But I just don't want that he gets, like, pointed out, like, he's the son of Grufel, but he's not as good as his dad. That would sound That would suck, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, but I mean, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of that. I think if there is, it'll get shot down real fucking quick. Because here's the thing, right? There's not another you, right? Um, there hasn't been thus far, right? So the expectation of having someone else do what you've done, I think his own career will be his own career. And I think a lot of people understand that, I don't think. And if they don't, then, you know, I'll kneecap on at a match. Just let me know where they're at. They'll get handled. Um, but yeah, man, that's an interesting thing though, because now you get to share it. Now you get to share the joy and share the sport with your son, which has got to be pretty awesome. I mean, I see y'all practicing together, and I think, oh shit, right? Like, what better teacher to have,
Hey, well, he says I'm too rigid. I'm too expecting. I'm too hard, asking for too much. But that's the way I've learned. That's the way I've been. And I said, listen, I've done the exactly same mistake as you. My dad was like beating the shit out of me, and I will also. I might not beat you as hard as my dad used to, but yes, I will. I will have to in order for you to shoot if you want to enjoy shooting. Because at the end of the day, if you shoot too quick and you miss, well, there's no satisfaction at the end.
Yep. Yep, that's pretty awesome, man. I know one of the big questions I got was, are you planning on teaching any U.S. classes? I know that's kind of a hard thing to say with COVID and everything else, but are you planning any U.S. classes anytime
There's,
soon?
I believe, because I'll be in SHOT Show and coming at SHOT Show, I have demands, and yes, I will do. If I come for the nationals, I will also do. But a lot of people, Texas, California, I got some requests also in Florida, so I will definitely have to organize something and make. I'll try to stay a little bit longer, maybe a week or 10 days extras, at least to fill some of them, just to be back there in the US. I must say, and same with my wife. We've been talking. She's like, can you imagine? We haven't been in the US for the last 2 years. I said, yes, I know that. So we're actually missing it.
Well,
We
man,
need we need to get back in the US, not only for shooting but also for traveling. But yeah, we need it definitely. So
well,
I will definitely do the class.
whenever you come to Texas, I'm in Houston. I got a private range out here, all the bays, all the goodies. We can set up a class out here if you want.
Got
I got a big ass house with plenty of room for you and the family. So
he's selling his range for me to come and practice, guys. So you have to put some extra,
yeah,
eh?
yeah. I got a private range. It'll just be you. I got all the equipment. Got a place for you to stay. Listen, just let me come out and throw some rounds down range with you, man. It's all covered. You got it.
You're gonna load my 1,000 rounds a day?
I'll load your 1,000 rounds a day. I don't give a shit. I got a Mark
Ooh,
7, baby. I got a Mark
ooh.
7. Let's go. We can crank that shit out in about 15 minutes.
There's Brian saying we can shoot in his backyard.
Yeah, see, there you go. I'll let you pop one off in the backyard. I'm in a neighborhood, but nobody will care. I'm in
Okay.
Houston. It's normal.
Back in Texas,
I'm
yeah.
in Texas. Everybody here shoots in their backyard. But yeah, that was a frequently asked question. Is yeah. Well, let me know when you're gonna do a class wherever it is. I'm in. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I appreciate this. This has been awesome. This is my favorite episode, dude.
Very sorry for the interruption at the very beginning, but hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know if you want to talk some more anytime later on, and we could do that for the people.
Yeah, we're definitely got to do this again, man. But I appreciate you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to do this. It was my pleasure, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys. Have a nice
Eric
weekend.
Graffel, everybody.
See you on the range.
Later, buddy.
Ciao, ciao. See you.
What a legend. Eric Raffel, everybody. That was a pretty good episode. There was a lot of information in there. Sorry about we got, a lot of connection interruptions, but if you make it through the whole thing, it's definitely worth it. But anywho, thank you guys for sticking around this long. 30 some odd people are still in this thing. So I appreciate it. This will go on YouTube. It'll be on all podcast forums if you want to watch it, or if you want to listen to it later on, you can find it if you missed it. If you missed any part of it, you'll be able to see it. So thank you again. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you on the range.